Hello chess lovers, Suren here, and in this video I want to take a quick look at a game played between Timman and Garry Kasparov. This game is from their 1985 match. I have to tell you that up to a certain point nothing special happens. We will go quickly through the game and will concentrate only on the last stage of the attack. So in this game Timman had white pieces and he opened up with e4, to which Kasparov answered with e5. Knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5. The good old Ruy Lopez is on the board. a6, Morphy defense, bishop a4, knight f6, white castled kingside and bishop e7, and now we're heading towards the closed variations of the Ruy Lopez, which require a huge theoretical knowledge. c3, black castled kingside, h3, bishop b7, d4, rook e8, knight g5, hitting on f7. In some cases the players are even repeating the moves, thus ending up the game in a draw, but this time luckily we won't see it, and after rook e8 this time we see knight bd2, bishop f8, a3, h6. Other alternative is g6, taking under control this f5 square, not allowing knight h4, knight f5 jump, also fianchettoing the kingside bishop, thus giving the kingside better solidity. But instead we see h6, bishop c2, knight b8. Seems like that black wants to bring his knight on b6, and at the same time black is freeing the c-pawn's path. b4, knight bd7, bishop b2, g6, c4. But now it's white who is advancing and is trying to provoke weaknesses in his opponent's camp. a takes b5, knight takes d4, c6, a4, b takes a4, bishop takes a4, queen b6, knight c2. Already a move like knight c4 can be a nice threat. That's why black moved back his queen on c7, bishop b3, bishop a6. A year later in 1986, rook takes a1 was played by Karpov when facing Timman with the black pieces, but this time we see bishop a6, rook c1, bishop g7, knight e3, bishop b5, and knight d5. By relying on this pin, white is putting his knight on the central square, is attacking black queen, and also seems like that white has intentions of going for simplifications by exchanging the pieces on f6. Knight takes d5 was played by Kasparov, which allowed an immediate exchange of dark squared bishops on g7, and in this case white is actually managing to somewhat weaken black king. He takes d5, knight e5, knight e4. A bit strange looking move. At this point knight c4 is better, but instead Timman decided to provoke knight d3, which was made by Kasparov. So we have a fork, right? Queen d2, white wants to switch his queen into the attack from the long diagonal, and rook a3. Well, at this point queen e7 is good, in order to meet, for example, queen c3 check with queen e5. Or even knight e1 is playable. In this case, if you play queen c3 check, then rook e5 with f4, then knight d3, and again black is doing great. You can even recapture with the knight, but instead we see this rook a3 move, which is a mistake, and now let's see what's the problem with it. Here Timman actually found a very beautiful move, and he played knight f6, attacking black rook. Rook takes e1 check, rook takes e1, and at this point Kasparov decided to accept the piece sacrifice because there was a nasty knight e8 threat. If queen d8, then knight g4 can be unpleasant, and still white has a very dangerous attack. And if knight d1, then queen b2 check. In our game to rook e1, we have king takes f6 answer, and there comes queen c3 check, knight e5. Well, if king g5, then queen d4, and this exposed king has no chance of surviving. In the game, knight e5 was played, and there comes f4, bishop a4. This is already a serious mistake and is losing on the spot. Playing king g7 in order to find a safety for the king is better. In this case, black can put a tougher resistance. But in the game we see bishop a4, which, as I have already mentioned, is losing on the spot. Here Timman played f takes e5 check, and after d takes e5 moved forward his d pawn With this move, white is not only opening up the light squared bishop's diagonal, but also by luring away black queen from the 7th rank, is leaving this pawn on f7 unprotected. After king e7, the pawn on f7 drops, king d8, and there comes a deadly pin. Kasparov tried to break up that pin with rook a1, but with his next move, with queen f6 check, Timman forced a resignation. If you move away your king, then simply queen takes d6 and white is winning. And so we reached a very famous final position, which is worth of a detailed look. If we take a look at the position, we can see that the black king is in check from the white queen, which is directly attacked by the black queen, which is pinned against its own king by the white rook, which in turn is pinned against its own king by the black rook. This is hilarious, guys. Which is defending the black bishop, which is attacking a white bishop and pinning it against its rook. And all the pieces suffer from the exhaustion. As Christian Hesse said, this is a promising candidate for the optically most intricate game ending of all time. So this is it, dear chess lovers. Hope that you enjoyed this crazy game. And in the end, let's also solve a chess puzzle. Please take a look at this position and try to find the winning line for white. As usual, we'll wait for your answer in the comment section. Feel free to check out my early uploads as well. We'll see you in my next video. Take care.